All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're breaking down a really direct, no excuses plan from investor Arlen Hamilton for making real money and fast. So, if you've ever felt stuck or you just needed to generate some cash quickly, well, this one's definitely for you. And it all starts with this. I mean, what a bold promise, right? Let's get you paid $500 today. This isn't some fluffy get rich quick nonsense. It's a super practical goal. The core idea here is that you already have what you need to start earning. Let's break down exactly how you can make that happen. So here's the game plan we're going to walk through. First, we'll talk about the plan itself. Then we'll get into the actual steps: choosing your topic, building a super simple storefront, creating your offer, finding your first customers, and then the final step, which is honestly the most crucial one of all, just taking action. Okay, so let's start with that first idea. What makes this plan so, well, realistic? It really all comes down to a major flaw in most of the other money-making advice that you see floating around online. Think about it. So much of the advice out there kind of comes from a place of privilege, right? It assumes you have money to spend on ads or this huge network you can just tap into. Arlen's method completely flips that on its head. Instead of starting with capital, you start with your knowledge, the things that people are already asking you about. It's simple, it's actionable, and you don't have to already have a head start. So now let's get into the first real step. This is where you find your starting point, your thing. And the most important rule here is just don't overthink it. You really don't need to be the world's leading expert on something. Just ask yourself, can you talk about a topic for 30 minutes without notes? Maybe it's a hobby, like a TV show you're obsessed with. Or maybe it's a skill you have, like making incredible vegan mac and cheese. The key, and you can see it right there at the end, is just to pick one and move on. That momentum is everything for the next steps. Okay, so once you've got your topic, you need a place to actually sell your thing. Now, this part used to be a huge technical headache, but not anymore. Arlen recommends using a tool like StanStore. It lets you create a really simple one-page kind of link in bio style shop. The whole idea is to get something functional up and running in minutes, not days. This is just your digital storefront, your cash register, where people can buy from you. So you've got your topic and you've got your storefront. Now for step 3, what are you actually selling? Well, Arlen breaks it down into 2 main categories. First up is passive income. And what's great about this definition is just how simple it is. This isn't about money magically appearing out of thin air. It's about doing the work up front. You create something one single time, and it can be sold over and over again without a ton of extra work. And this table just lays out the 2 paths perfectly. A passive offer is something like a digital product, a PDF guide, maybe a cookbook. You make it once, and it can sell forever at a lower price. An active offer, on the other hand, means you're trading your direct time for each sale, like a coaching call or a workshop. And because it takes your personal time, you can charge a much higher price for that. Now, the pricing here is absolutely key. Your very first offer should be an impulse buy. By pricing it low, somewhere between, say, $7 and $49, you remove all the friction. No one has to go talk to their partner about a $10 purchase, you know? But this isn't just about making one sale. It's about getting someone to trust you enough to buy something, which makes them way more likely to buy from you again later. So you've got your topic, your store, and your offer. Now for step 4, probably the biggest piece of the puzzle, getting it in front of actual people. Arlen really focuses on 2 main ways to get those first customers: putting out public content and doing direct private outreach. Now, this is a huge mindset shift. The biggest excuse people have is, but I don't have an audience. But as Arlen points out, modern social media algorithms are based on interest, not your follower count. Your video could get thousands of views even if you only have 50 followers, as long as the content is interesting. The playing field has totally been leveled. So what do you even post? Well, you just follow this simple story formula. 1. I had this problem, like my vegan food was always so bland. 2. I found a solution, so I created this amazing mac and cheese recipe. And 3, I now offer that solution to you, and you can get my recipe for $5. That's it. You're just talking to the camera and sharing a solution. But what if you don't want to wait for the algorithm to work its magic? Well, the second method is even more direct, and honestly, it's often faster. It just involves reaching out to people you already know who might be interested in what you've made. And the instruction here is so specific. DM, email, or text at least 10 people. Not 100, not 1,000, just 10. It's such a small, manageable number that it makes the whole thing feel achievable. The goal is just to start a conversation and get your first sale. All of the steps we've talked about are just theory without this last one. This is all about the mindset you need to push past the fear and actually get started. And this analogy just cuts through all the excuses. Perfectionism is what holds so many people back. They worry about their lighting, their script, or what people are going to think. But Arlen's point is that your solution helps someone solve a real problem for them. It's like you're putting out a fire. The value is in the help you provide, not in the perfect presentation. So after all this, the final takeaway is really a question for you to answer. You have a simple, really low-risk plan right here in front of you. You can start with what you already know, create something valuable, and then just share it with a few people. The only thing standing in your way is that little voice in your head that's afraid of what might happen. So I'll just leave you with this question. What's the worst that can happen if you try? And maybe more importantly, what's the best that can happen if you succeed?